we were still discussing access to market and readiness as a critical element in access to market. We have discussed product. We have discussed pricing. So today we are discussing predisposition and purpose. Predisposition and purpose. What's interesting about some of these factors is the fact that some of them are soft issues, and by soft issue I mean issues that are not really tangible in terms of being able to hold it, but issues that are very germane to the success of the business. Because for predisposition, for example, you say this has to do with international orientation and exposure of staff of the company. The more the staff of a business that have international orientation and exposure, maybe schooling abroad, or traveling for holiday, or work experience abroad, or knowledge of export market, and speaking of foreign language, the more such business is ready for internationalization. So the exposure of the staff, for example, there is a particular company, they have an export manager who is working with other people in the organization because she is the export manager. The business does other things apart from export, actually. But he has to work with those other people who have domestic orientation in what they do. But because if you are doing international trade, time is of essence. If you are not time conscious, you will not be able to do many transactions within the period, particularly for those doing commodity, for example. For this particular company was doing cashew nut. Cashew nut season from February till around April, May, and this was last year. But unable to do so much transaction because of the lack of international orientation of the people the lady was working with who work for other departments. And the implication of that is that it affected the pace and the speed to which he was able to do what she has to do. And they were not able to do as many transactions they would have been able to do because their transactions were not given a priority, because people don't even know the implication of the delay. If you know, for example, delay could lead to demurrage, and demurrage could lead to death or losses. The consciousness of avoiding the consequence or attendant losses of delay become easier to avoid. But when the business is not even conscious of it, it becomes a problem. So to be able to fix that kind of problem, it becomes necessary for the staff to be trained. They don't necessarily have to travel abroad or have worked in an export company before or have any international orientation. If they don't have, what is important is that they are trained. They must be conscious. For example, something happened recently. Someone did a shipment. And this is what lack of, when you are not conscious of the fact that something is acceptable in Nigeria does not mean to be acceptable abroad. And this is so sad, sincerely, because for one reason or the other, we are used to, in Nigeria, we are used to, what do I call it now? Mediocrity. Things are not the way it should be, but we just manage it. So this particular company was shipping to the US, and they were shipping shea butter. the people that process the shea butter, they didn't filter the butter very well. So there were residue. There were residue that sedimented at the base of the shea butter. They saw it, they noticed it. But you know, if it was to be so locally, no big deal, actually, no big deal. Maybe they will have sold it, or they're already selling such. So it wasn't an issue for the people because this is not a big deal. But they were going to export. The good was shipped. But the buyer, as inconsequential as this spotted product looked like to the Nigerian exporter or to the staff of the Nigerian exporter, as inconsequential as it looked like, sincerely, it was a big deal for the buyer. The buyer said they wouldn't be able to use it. Now, international orientation given to staff, let them know that if they notice a defect in product, they won't overlook it. That even if this is acceptable in Nigeria, it's not acceptable abroad. The buyer most likely will not be interested. And the buyer is not interested because they have a standard. You know, there was someone of my client that wanted to export yam some times ago. And I was telling her the specification of the yam, the fact that he has to take tape rule to where he's going to buy that yam. He has to measure the yam. There is a range of length. There is a range of diameter or circumference. There is a range of sizes that the product must not go beyond. That if it goes beyond it, even though it's still yam, that is good for local consumption. In fact, you know, if you go to wedding, I'm sure probably some of us have attended wedding today. The bigger the yam, the more the branches, the better the yam. That is in Nigerian traditional marriage. If you are going to ship it to a temperate region, they need a yam they can eat at once. If they cut it and keep it the way we cut yam several times to keep, the yam will get spoiled. As a result of that, the yam to be exported must be measured, no branches, no injury, no sand, no air, not too big, enough for a family to eat at once. I'm basically saying tonight that your staff can mess up your product. If your staff is not conscious, particularly if you already sell in the local market and there is a quality you sell that the local market is not complaining about. There's a quality you sell in the market that the local market is not complaining about. Your staff might think that is okay for the export market. Your staff might think that is okay for the export market. And sincerely, that might not be okay. which is why you must know the quality specification. Now, the shipment I talked about, there was an issue also with the buyer because they are supposed to have insisted on quality inspection with lab results as the basis for shipment and payment. But that was not done. You know, sometimes when some things happen, in retrospect, you'll be wondering, why is it that someone will even do this? It looked like this is supposed to be common sense. But sometimes, ignorance, inadequate knowledge, lack of understanding could make people to lose money, and they could have avoided if they have taken caution. Because even if the staff messed up, but quality inspection was done, that would probably have prevented that from happening. Because it's not a finished product, it's a semi-processed product. Raw material, semi-processed product, inspection are very critical. For finished product, because it's finished, you might not, you still have to do your quality control in the lab, so in your office, or your factory, but there might not be need for third-party inspection. But the fact that there's no third-party inspection for a factory is the reason why the factory must take quality control seriously, so that any product that falls short of the standard is not going into commerce. It's not allowed to go into commerce. It's not allowed to go outside. If you destroy it or find alternative use for it or recycle if possible. So the buyer told the exporter to come and pick it up when the destination should come and pick up his goods because they're not going to pay for it. When we get to one of the area of readiness for the export market, I'm going to talk about that. That should not be an issue if that company is ready for export. Someone else will have come, and because the good can still be used, only that they will have to filter it. That means they might charge less rather than saying you should come and take it, they want to discard it or something. But it can still be used. Only that it has to be done at a lower price because of the cost that is being incurred in filtering the product. What am I saying in essence? Your staff needs international orientation. The mediocrity he has accepted locally by virtue of being a Nigerian must be reorientated. He must become conscious that now we are shipping abroad, they will not take any shit from us. And if you have met some white guys, they are so, to be like they are not, they don't care, or they don't, if they said, if you have not done what you're supposed to do, they won't take it. They won't, there's no begging, no, or God, I beg now, no be small. No be just small thing, I beg, make me take it like that. No be, I beg, make it take it like that, no go work. Oh. So, in as much as the owner of the business must also be ready, his staff also must be ready. Training the staff, educating them on quality, so that when they spot a little deviation, they alert you. They don't just add and say, no, be small, it's just a minor. No, let us be prim and proper in everything. It's an orientation, it's a mindset. It's a mindset. You know, there's something we are used to that are abnormal. You know, there was a story of a child who came from the UK to visit the cousin in Nigeria. So something now happened. They took the light. And the story had it that why the child from the UK was crying, mommy, 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 I've gone blind. The Nigerian child was shouting, Nepa. The Nigerian child was shouting, Nepa. The Nigerian child is used to darkness. The The Nigerian child is used to darkness. The UK child is not used to darkness. He thinks he has gone blind because everywhere is dark. So can you see that the same situation? See the way the two children, that children already has been messed up by the Nigerian environment that have made darkness to be normal. That is the way some of our staff, even we ourselves are. The environment have made us to accept mediocrity, accept what is not supposed to be right or good or normal to be normal. So some of the things we've seen as normal are really not normal. They are not supposed to be. But you know what? That's Nigeria for you. Predisposition of your staff is critical. To be ready for export business, ask yourself this question. How will you describe the exposure and familiarity of your staff of your company to exportation? How will you describe the number of staff in your company that have worked abroad? How will you describe the number of staff in your company that have schooled abroad? How will you describe the number of staff in your company that have traveled abroad for holidays? How will you describe the number of staff in your company that can speak foreign language? Now, they don't have to have done this. All these traveling abroad, schooling abroad, international foreign speaking second language, all these are just international oriented that made them to understand the culture of Western world or Asian, of the export market in such a manner that they are conscious of the fact that you cannot joke with quality in this place. So you can't sweep quality under the carpet. You cannot sweep quality under the carpet.
Too plenty. So the ones you go they covered for back. So I'm going.
Deborah, you are disturbing us, so you didn't mute your mic. Where did they cover for back? All right. So to be able to ensure they have orientation, the reason for schooling abroad or traveling abroad or doing export seminar is just for them to be conscious of the fact that, look, these people are not like us. I must be conscious of what we are doing to ensure it does not fall short of the standard expected in the export market. I'll move on now to the next one on our list is purpose. Purpose. A business must have an ideology. A business should have an ideology. Ideology is a combination of value and purpose. Ideology is a combination of value and purpose. Ideology is a combination of value and purpose. Value, who we are. Purpose, why we exist or why we are doing what we are doing. You know, there is a story in a book. The book is titled Built to Last. My new book is titled Built to Go Global, and it's actually inspired by that book, Built to Last. Built to Last is a book that was written based on the question of a lady at Stanford in graduate school. Jim Collins was a lecturer in Stanford, and he was teaching a course, Building a Business from Ground Up. And every day when he comes for lecture, he'll be using an example of big companies like Boeing, Johnson & Johnson, HP, Walmart. One day, a lady in the class stood up and said, Jim, I'm tired of this, your course. You come every day to tell us about how to build a business from ground up, but you are using an example of businesses who are already big and great. How do we know that a business that started small today will become visionary and big and great business tomorrow? What are the signs you see in a business today that make you to know that this business will go places tomorrow? You know what Jim Collins told him? Jim said, "Thank you for your question. I'll get back to you." It took Jim 6 years of research to be able to answer that lady's question. And it turned into a book, Build to Last. Build to Last. In that research, Jim discovered that a business does not become visionary, does not become great, and outlast the founder because of the founder. A business does not become great because of the product. A business does not become great because of the services. A business does not become great because of the CEO. A business does not become great because of the staff. A business does not become great because of the innovation or creativity. A business becomes great because the business has an ideology. The business has an ideology. There is something driving the business. And he said that ideology does not have to be morally right. Boko Haram is an ideology. Christianity is an ideology. Islam is an ideology. Democracy is an ideology. Communism is an ideology. Ideology is what is changing our world. Philosophy does not change the world. Ideology is what changes the world. Ideology have inside it philosophy that drives it. Ideology is a combination of value and purpose. A business must have values. A business must have purpose. If a business does not have value and purpose, it will not be able to survive in the export market. So why are you doing what you are doing? What's your motivation? The purpose is different from the goal. The goal is to make money. The purpose is not to make money. The purpose of a business is not to make money. The goal of a business is to make money. But the purpose is not to make money. The purpose is to solve a problem, to create value. So what purpose is driving you? You know, when you have ideology, even when you are not profitable, you are happy that your product is in the market. And that drives you to want to do more, even when you're not very profitable. Why? Because you have a purpose much more than profitability. Because the beauty is that when a business has a purpose, profitability is inevitable in the long run. Many SMEs don't have ideology. And that's why the mortality rate of many businesses are very high among SMEs. The motive behind it is just to make money, which is not bad, only that there's no ideology. You know, ideology, have you ever wondered why someone will strap himself to, otherwise called suicide bomber? He believes in something and is ready to terminate his own existence for that thing. That is the power of ideology. Something you believe in and you're willing to give all to it. Value and purpose constitute ideology. Value, who we are. Purpose, why we exist. What will make a business to take a decision to internationalize and also keep such a business in the export market, despite the challenges of doing business abroad, is the motivation for going abroad in the first place. You don't have an idea of the challenges we have faced in the last 11 years or 12 years that 3 Press have been in existence. as a business. You don't have an idea. The only reason why we are still on is ideology. Ideology. That's the only reason. There is so much factors to cause discouragement. But when you have an ideology, that's the only reason why we keep doing research to find answer and solution, because we derive satisfaction in seeing the success of those businesses. Ideology. 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 The stronger the motivation, the higher the chance of persevering till success is achieved in the export market. Some of the purpose for going into foreign market include desire to go global. To build a global brand. To put your food product in the export market. Sometimes it's desire for survival. It's a survival strategy. When it's a survival strategy, you do everything to make it work in spite of the challenges. Sometimes, because the business is not profitable, to be more profitable, you want to enjoy government incentives or subsidies or free trade agreement. You must have a strong purpose beyond just making money, but to keep the business afloat, to solve problems. This is a very big challenge, ladies and gentlemen. Or ladies alone. I don't think there's gentlemen here. My question to you today is, does your business have an ideology? What are your values? At 3 Thinkers, our values include people, creativity, passion, integrity, and knowledge. People, creativity, passion, integrity, and knowledge. Those are the things that drive us. The people, our clients, our staff, the satisfaction, the progress they are making. Passion, to see African businesses go global, solving problems. And doing that, of course, with integrity, because with the challenge we face, but for integrity, it wouldn't have been funny, actually. Then knowledge, we just want to learn and at the same time disseminate those knowledge. And of course, creativity, very critical, very critical. Creativity, extremely critical for us. My question to you is, do you have ideology in your business? Are there values you hold true, who you are, and then why you exist? What is driving you beyond just making money? What is driving you beyond just making money? To be ready, to be ready for an export market, ask yourself this question: how will you evaluate the desire of the business to build a global brand? Many people are not thinking of building a global brand. Some people are even afraid of building a global brand. How you evaluate the strategy of the business to assess government incentive? How you evaluate the plan of the business to take advantage of free trade agreement? How will you evaluate the plan of the business in using export as a survival strategy? How will you evaluate the desire of the business to earn in foreign exchange? What is your own purpose? What are you looking at? Deborah. He said Nigerian challenges is killing passion. You know what I discovered about passion? It is passion that makes you to overcome that challenge, to find a way around it. Because passion makes you, because the satisfaction you derive in solving that problem makes you to find a way around the challenges. There are challenges, and I'm not denying the challenges in Nigeria. But the reason why we have passion is that's what keeps you going in spite of the challenges. No, I'm going to take all the questions. I'm going to take your comment. I'm going to, maybe you are going to be the first person to talk. I can see your hand, Deborah. So I'm not disputing what you're saying at all. No, I'm only saying that the reason why we need passion is because of this challenge in Nigeria. Okay, let me listen to you now. Go ahead and mute yourself.
So the reason why I said passion, Nigerian challenges is killing passion is,
yes.
Okay, for some of us, we enter into this business initially just to make money, to more like for survival, right? You just want to just trade and make profit and just solve immediate problem. At some point, you started reading and reading and reading and reading, and it turned into passion. What do I mean? Okay, for me personally, I was just trading. You trade, you add the difference, and you make profits. Then I stumbled on the post on one Saturday morning where I saw that we are having deficit balance of trade for ginger powder. Can you imagine that? Something in me gave way. Like, I couldn't just explain it. I was angry. I was challenged. So many things was happening at the same time. And I was asking so many questions. Why is it that with all the ginger we have, we are the #1 producer of ginger in Africa, #3 in the whole world? Why are we importing ginger? Is it that the government cannot buy machineries to produce ginger up to international standard? Is it that foreigners don't like our ginger? I was asking so many questions that nobody could answer me, so I started using Google. Okay, why is it that we can't produce this? All the same questions that was just running through my head, I started asking Google. The more I'm searching, the more my passion is growing, the more I feel the need to do something. And at some point, I just told myself, it's the same question that I'm asking. That's the same question everybody is asking. Why not do a business plan and start with the minimum? Do you understand?
Yeah.
The minimum, and start processing. Mind you, my ideology is, okay, I saw that there is a problem. Like, mine was not even more of the exportation at the first stage. Why are we importing ginger when we have ginger? So if you see, my ideology is to be able to produce that quality of international ginger to stop companies in Nigeria from exporting.
Yeah.
From importing. So that is my ideology. Like, I feel challenged. Like, I can do this. I can tax myself and meet up with that international standards so that I can supply the local market. Okay, that is the passion. It was driving me. I was researching. I was buying small machine, doing it for my pocket. Even when they say this, I will fail, I will stand up, I will fail, I will stand up. Even when I get to the point where I felt, okay, I should be able to sell. But within me, that passion within me, I will carry that product, I will take to different labs, and I will tell myself that it has not met with that standard.
That standard you're looking for, okay?
Yes, that was the driving force. But then as you are going, of course, you have to be making money from somewhere and be funding this passion. So I was still doing the commodity trading. I would just carry ginger from Kafanchan. I will add 1 million, depend on my bargaining skill for a truck, or I'll add 800,000, add 500,000, depend on if it's 20,000, I'm able to put for each ton that I'm selling, that would be like 520,000. If I'm able to negotiate up to 40,000, that would be like 1 point something million. So depend on my negotiating skill. So I keep pushing like that till the first 2 years. Okay, last upper year, that is the COVID year. A boy that was helping me swindled me of 15 point something million.
Wow.
When we got to the police station, he said it's Breeze that took my ginger. It's Breeze. I'm telling you how passion would have died, though. From that 2020 till now, the case is still in the police station, and we are still talking about Breeze.
When I get your point, the environment was very, very discouraging, and I agree with you 100%. Sincerely.
I was still holding on at a point when I thought I was okay, recovering from that one. Last year again, another 10 million stroke. At that point, I looked at myself in the mirror. I just asked myself, am I not better off to just be a housewife?
Now, I don't know what the issue is on this, but maybe that might also be a reason why, I've talked about value addition. I know commodity trading can be very risky. I mean, a lot of issues like this happening there. Maybe for me, that's a pointer also that you should begin to, I know you are working on it already, but maybe you begin to really do a lot also in that space so that you can speed it up while you are still doing your commodity. Let me take others because of time. Adiagro, can you hear me?
Okay.
Hello, Adiagro. What have you learned tonight?
Good evening, sir. Okay, something that just struck me is. Okay, I said something.
Talk about the two. If you were here when I'm talking about the two, just tell me your point. And if you have a question, you can ask so that we'll be able to finish before 10. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, one thing now, just just going over my head while you are talking is about the staff. Yeah. So, having your staff to align with your vision. I know it's been a problem for me as a business. Trying to sell my vision. I don't blame them because of the way the country is now. Everybody just wants fast money. Nobody wants to work. So. Yeah, nobody wants to work. So it's been a very, very big challenge, and I'm still working on it. But I like the fact that you stressed it out. It's something that we'll just keep doing till we'll get it right. We are SMEs, MSMEs, that we don't have that conglomerate, which we are already aspiring to be, that we are going to be there. But it's also hard to sell that vision to them. Even you can talk, I've talked and talked and talked. So, it's so funny. So then another thing that you talked about is I wanted to even ask, how do you now sell this international value to them? Because some of them have not even, most people have not even gone past their state.
Training to give them orientation of what is expected of them because this product is going abroad. So the training is letting them know how important quality is, how important standard is, why they cannot just add a product that is having a little defect because they feel it's a minor issue. They should learn to separate it. So training that will give them orientation that excellence is key, mediocrity is not acceptable.
Okay, so that means there are two hurdles to scale. Now, first is trying to get them to even buy into this decision first. Then second is now when they now finally get in, you now have to train them on, the value where you are going to. So, okay.
Oh. Thank you. Blossom, are you there?
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Go ahead.
Okay. As regards the staff helping to present for I can remember one instance I had when I asked one of them to get something from, because I couldn't go get the vendor myself. So unfortunately for me, the guy did not do the thorough check. He didn't follow our checklist. So in a way, I lost some money there because I didn't really get my profit, because the product came in as in, it was not fewer than the number, as the volume was not lesser than the normal one I'm supposed to get, because he didn't really do his proper check. So I had to get back to the vendor, and I see that even though my staff is supposed to do the right thing, at least my vendor should has also kept to his own word, because we already have an agreement. So sometimes staff can be frustrated. Some of the employees can be really like, I think they don't really show this care as regards someone's business. If they can take it as theirs, as if this is my own business. Oh, if I do it this way, if somebody does this to me in my business, will I be pleased with it? So sometimes I try to train them, but the ones that have won stayed, the ones that have trained that were really good did not stay long, because they had bigger opportunities, because my pay for them was not how I put it now, was not really.
What said now is the lot of young businesses and entrepreneurs. So what you must continue to do is to keep training. So let me tell you,
keep what?
Training, keep training.
Yes. But you keep training and they keep going. That's the issue.
Yes,
so
you can't stop training, even if they keep going. You don't have a choice.
Yes.
So what I do, let me tell you one of the things I do. I have the same problem, but I have few that have stayed for very long. I have like 3 people that have stayed for more than 5, 6, 7 years. But some a number. I mean, I've had more than 20 staff that have come and go in the last 10 years. But what I do is, at some point, if you stay up to a particular number of years, I'll give you a share in the business. So we share profit. So there is a sense of ownership. Then I give them health insurance and I pay their rent. Now, the reason for doing that is, no. You don't have to pay in full, you can pay part. But I'm just saying that it's good if staff have a sense of ownership. That would not still make some people stay, but some people will stay because they can feel a part of the business, you know. But like you said, what you're saying, all of us face it. It's a big challenge. You train people, they go. So you keep training. Okay, maybe because we do training. Training is normal. From time to time, they have to even do certification in the case of our organization, and we train us. Thank you very much, Blossom. Feishara.
Thank you, sir. Thank
you. Feishara, what do you have to say tonight? Hello, madam, are you there? Okay, Feishara is not around. Funke Bolujoko, good evening, madam.
Sir, I wanted to ask, based on what Blossom just said.
Okay.
So, is it, because we establish relationships with our vendors like farmers and suppliers. Mm-hmm. So, because we already have a standard of, and we've checked these people, we've been working with them. Do we, I don't know how to say it now, give them autonomy for liaising with the vendors?
You mean your staff?
I don't know if I'm.
You mean your staff?
Yes.
Why would they not liaise with vendors? They have to liaise with vendors. You can't do everything now. You have to liaise.
No, not like I mean like giving them 100%.
What do you?
So we should at least, because, and if because I might be wrong. So if you, for example, what Blossom said, and she lost money, so that means she really needed to, have checked what they brought, if it is what she normally.
Oh, okay, buys. I get your point. I get your point.
If the raw materials now come and everything, if a battery, for example, if I'm using
I get your point. What you should do is put in place a standard operating procedure. If good arrive, before we accept it, what must be done? who should do it, and who should double check. That's so that means a staff check, maybe someone double check again before payment is made. For me, whenever there is a challenge, I just find a solution to prevent it from repeating itself. That's what I try to do. Because as human beings, we always make mistakes. Our staff will make mistakes, we'll have issues. I don't want for it to be repeated. It doesn't make sense for it to be repeated. It's for me to know, okay, this is what caused this. What can I do next time? So let there be standard operating procedure that can avoid the repetition of those kind of situations. Thank you. Funke Bolujoko, good evening, madam. Are you there? Okay. Faishala, are you back now?
I am here, yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, good evening, madam.
Yeah.
Hello, madam, go ahead.
So, okay, thank you very much. It's the issue of ideology.
Yeah.
That is, your company must have ideology.
Yeah.
Something that drives you. And just as you were talking, I mean, my mind was just going through the factory.
Okay.
You know that there are some things, you are quite right. It's not possible that you do everything.
Yeah.
And you say, okay, quality, please, you must check this, you must check this, you must check this. Not many people are actually aware of the need to pay attention to details.
Yes, yes,
And
yeah.
Paying attention to details actually is quite critical in export trade, because people, what we will say to ourselves here in Nigeria, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Matters quite a lot.
Yeah.
So then, you know, and I was just thinking that, okay, one needs to put more eyes on the issue of quality. I mean, we had a problem not too long ago. Our sleeves that we use over our tea, somebody just went to change the speed of the machine.
Okay.
And we started having reflections from the overwrap, you know, which shouldn't be. And this was packed, and our partners actually picked this up, you know, that sort of thing. And which was, well, I think they also guessed what might have happened. So just as you were talking about the issue of quality, that there are some things that we will not really take too serious with ourselves, but then it matters. In the market, you are sending your product to. So it's just telling myself they need to put
a system in place.
Greater attention on this.
Yes. Thank you. Okikiola, I will get to you. I'm following the name alphabetically, and you are old, so don't worry, I'll get to you. Faishala, are you back now? Ngozi Kingsley, are you there?
Yes.
Okay, Faishala, good evening, madam.
Good evening. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I think I got a few things while you were talking. For me, just like she has just mentioned, the issue of ideology, which should be something that has to be a driving force.
Yes.
In any business one is doing, especially exportation. Then the fact that quality must not be swept under the carpet.
Yeah.
I also learned that I have to be intentional in training my staff and changing their orientation. I think I also learned about evaluating myself, the business, the incentives I look forward to, and things I want to gain by putting myself into the export hands-on as you were talking.
All right. Hello? Hello?
Yeah, we are here.
Hello, sir.
Yes. Go ahead, I can hear you. Okay, let's move on. I think there's an issue with the network. Ngozi Kingsley, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Go ahead, please.
Hello?
Go ahead.
Okay, well, my own is ideology. When we were talking about ideology,
What's happening now? Is it my network? Can anybody?
when I
Wow, I can't hear you.
Take charge.
Sorry, my line went off. I'm just coming back. So Ngozi, I don't know if you can repeat yourself, please. So sorry about that.
Okay, you can hear me now, right?
I can hear you.
Good. I said when I entered this business, I'm into commodity, I said,
Okay.
I had in mind to do something different. I'm into ginger.
Okay.
You know, I noticed that the way they were processing ginger, to me, I didn't like it. Well, I had in mind to do my own in-house. I will buy, wash, sun dry, or any other way to dry it and do my exports. But when I enter into it, I found out that it's not easy like that. I wanted to add value, but I found out that to add that value is not very easy. In the first place, the security issue in Kafancha, I can't even go there myself because if I want a fresh ginger, I should be there to get what I want. Even if I'm not buying directly from the farmers, I should be able, maybe the aggregators, buy from them there. Then have a warehouse in Kafancha. That's what I had in mind. Have a warehouse in Kafancha, buy from them, wash in-house, process it myself, and export. But a whole lot of things just get in on the way that I discovered that honestly, what I had in mind for now, it cannot work. So adding value, the ideology you have when I want to start a business, I found out that it might not be only me that can make that happen. The environment also you are operating in, will it allow you to add value to the business you are doing? Well, I'm a profit person. I believe that if I add value to my business, I should be able to have a premium. But right now, but even if I add that value, which right now is not possible, even the premium, you are not sure of it. So, the whole of Nigerian system thing is just discouraging, I can tell you.